still a mess about this. Look, and yes, is this a bit? Of course it's a bit. I realize I'm starting the show with this damn song. I'm acting like stop, because I'm only allowed to play like 8 seconds and then I don't get in trouble. But here's the deal. I love Thunder. I loved Walked In Through the Door, and I want the right to play it. I'm going to get you downloads. So I'm asking the lead singer, the bass player, if there was a tambourine girl, please, somebody let Southside Steve have the rights to this song or talk to your record label, but I got to make money. So I'm going to keep doing that, as lame as it is. I don't want to do a different song. I don't want to have somebody else cut it for me. I got enough musician friends. I could bang the door on Collective Soul and say, hey, can you do a cover of Love Walked In? But I'm trying to promote you, and you don't even do anything anymore. I'm trying to help. Okay. The Yeah Come On show. Yeah, we've been gone for a minute, and I'm trying to keep us here. We got some new things. We don't want to miss any more time. I will tell you right now, we're restructuring the show. We're going to give out a phone number. We're going to want you to call in. We're going to want you to ask questions. We're going to want you to mail in questions. We're going to say your name if you allow us to, and we want videos. Along the jackass level or whatever. I don't care. A stupid video. If somebody's filming you jumping a ramp and you bust it, just give me a yeah, come on. Even if it's your last dying word, and we'll show the video. So I want to start doing that too. And we're looking to have a guest at least 2 to 3 times a month. And today's guest is a guest that tore up Atlanta radio for 20 years. He now has been relocated, and his name is John Kincade. Dude, that's strong. Marist, a wonderful school. I got to play them in soccer as a public school, and the price of one of their uniforms was about the price of all of our uniforms. And every time I passed that school, I'd tell my wife, I played soccer on that field. I had the only shot on goal. I got about 30 yards out, and I said, screw it, I'm popping it, because they were so good. These guys were recruiting all over the nation. I was a good player. I was getting offers from 2-year schools, but these kids were like, some of them were going to play professional. So,
well, it's one of the things, Steve, where I tell you is that in the 26 years that I spent in Atlanta, like Marist was just one of those examples of something that, as a family, when my daughter was born, and then we're pretty devout Catholic and family. And I wanted her to have Catholic education. Everybody said, well, she's got to go to Marist or Pius or BT.
Pius.
So we checked them all out. And we said to her, you apply everywhere, and then you will make that decision for yourself. And
wow.
When she got into Marist, my bank account took the hit, of course.
Oh,
but we're extremely pleased with her education, and she's killing it in school. And I couldn't be more proud. My daughter is a powerhouse, man. It's one of those things, Steve. I tell you, and your kids are small, but I got to tell you is that as she's 17 years old now, which I can't even believe, it's the idea that I don't know what she's going to be, but I know she's going to kick ass doing it. I don't know what she's going to be, but she's going to kick ass.
Well, my son just allowed me to partake and leave bedtime to come do the podcast. He was brave. Awesome. He's a brave 3-year-old. He only had a couple of stuffed animals, and he's like, okay, Daddy, you go do your work. And then he reminds me, charge my iPad, and he's 3.
There
I'm
you
like,
see, there you go.
So,
orders for you.
I don't know why you guys are hating on BT, by the way. Steve's yelling Pius, you're yelling Maris, and I'm the BT alumni.
And you're the BT alum too. I mean, look, yeah. They're all three fantastic schools, and the rivalry between them is bitter. I mean, it's bitter. And I've gotten a little into it too with my Pius and BT friends, because I got to rep Marist State Championship.
Marist and Pius. I don't know why a high school in the South Side had to play you guys. We played Woodward Academy, Marist, and Pius, and then we got a chance every once in a while to play like Riverdale. We could like slaughter them, or McIntosh down in Peachtree City before they got good.
Well,
soccer's all I knew.
They wanted to expose you to education.
Yeah, I saw it.
They brought you up.
And here's the thing. My mother did 11 years of Catholic school. My grandmother and my mother, devout Catholic. So I was raised right. I did 7th grade in a boarding school, Catholic school.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. And then I got back into high school, and I'm like, what are concert T-shirts and blue jeans? All I had was dress clothes. And I got to tell you, I came in and got honor roll for 2 years, and then I got exposed to the public school element,
Yes.
and I just slowly did a downward spiral, but came out with a B average, and and there you have
I
it.
think
But
I think you've done well for yourself, but I think
I
Steve,
tried.
much like me,
Yeah.
we ended up in life where we were meant to end up. I was constantly cutting up in class,
Yes. Class
uh,
clown.
class clown type stuff, goofing off, obsessed with sports. I think we both ended up where we were supposed to end up. We weren't meant. You and I were not meant to be surgeons. We weren't meant to be doctors, lawyers. We weren't accountants. We
No.
were meant to do what we do, and man, are we blessed to get to do it. I mean, it
No,
really is
and
a blessing.
you're right. I look back at the memories, and I have them on my wall in front of me. A lot of pictures of radio. A lot of great times at 96 Rock. Now I've been at Rock 100.5
Sure.
since 2008. But I was in the building with you. I
Yes.
was in the building with Brett, and I remember when I was out of work in 2007 because they blew up the afternoon show. Get this, I had to come back and pick up my check because we were #1 in men 25-54. And I'm like, and I'm on the street. Little did I know they had a plan to blow up 96 Rock, and they were bringing in
Exactly.
they knew they were a year away. So they're like, why re-sign these guys and pay them when we can hire some chick from Dallas, bring her in, and F her over in a year and a half? That's the magic of radio sometimes. But, you working down the hall, Buck and Kincade, you're working with the only guy that ever gave Georgia a ring, which is
Yes.
bizarre. And y'all were both just two different type of dudes. It was great. It's
Very
like you
different.
very different. You're coming in totally prepared. You've got everything moving, and Buck's just like, all right, that's cool. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. And I'm Buck. So I
Yes.
can give Buck some shit because that's me. Bailey, we need a buttoned up guy. Bailey is that guy, and he's on top of everything, works very hard, and you do too. So I got to tell you, when I saw your 20-year anniversary, and that's one reason why Brett and I wanted to have you on the Yeah Come On show, is first off, I didn't get to say goodbye. I think it's great that your wife and daughter still live here. And I know how much Philly's important to you because I've been at the airport flying to Philly because my wife has family there, and you're at the airport going, I'm going to Philly, and you're telling me, I know my uncle, this uncle, that uncle, and they're all firemen or police department.
Cousins, police. We got you covered, Steve. Your family has been under our protection for a while now.
And I'll take
right back, and I am right back living, which is the strangest thing in the world. So I'm in this new building that I'm living in a town called Ardmore. Okay, so it's right on the main line, right in Ardmore. And it's where my dad was born and where my dad's family was from.
Oh,
so
wow.
right up, but there's a new high rise that they built here, high rise, 8 stories. And I'm in this building. My wife found it on the internet. And then I said, okay, it's right near where I want to live. It's near my new radio station. So I'm like, okay, just get me an apartment there. That's all I want. So I come out of the building and I'm showing a video of it so I can show my cousins on Facebook and everything. And there's this abandoned pharmacy across the street, a building that is being it's available to be renovated. Plus the pot store, by the way, right outside my front door, the marijuana dispensary.
Hello.
Which right outside it's called Hello. It's called Beyond. It's called Beyond Hello. So
Stop it. I had no idea.
It's called Beyond Hello. But so I walk out of the building and I'm taking a video and I show this sort of corner store abandoned pharmacy, and my cousins say, your grandfather died in the apartment right above that. But my grandfather died before I was born, a couple years before I was born. And after my grandmother had died, he sold his house. He got this apartment right above this pharmacy, which was right down the block from McCluskey's, which is a great old town Philly watering hole in Ardmore. And he would go, have his cocktails and play cards every afternoon. And he lived the life of a fun single man and enjoyed himself.
And that's great. And when you're older, if you live above a pharmacy, you're in pretty good shape because you can get the drugs you need quickly.
Yes.
I need my heart medication now.
Well, now, Brett, he says heart medication. Steve's going to be saying, send up the blue or send up the yellow. Let's be honest. You're just going to be going by color.
I'll be honest with you. The blue gives me a headache. I'm more of a yellow man.
There you go. It's those nitrates, baby.
And here's something funny, and you'll take enjoyment out of this. The one thing, people, they're rough and tough. I mean, people just, now that
Sure
we're
they
in
are.
social media. So I sit here and I kill this town. I date celebs. I date professional cheerleaders, Cowboys, Falcons. I date one of the housewives of Atlanta, and I'm sitting here just slaying every chick at Wild Bill's. The beer tub chicks. These are incredible bodies. Yeah, they're not. Some of them were going to college, not all of them, but
Exactly.
I do all these things, and then I meet a great girl, and I settle down, and I have a couple of kids. Some ass jack pointed out a ring around my neck and goes, "You got the creepy neck. Look who's creepy now." All of a
Oh
sudden,
my God.
I'm a creepy guy. I'm creepy because I have long hair. It's turning gray. I'm the old man in my studio when I used to be the youngest guy in my studio. I'm like, y'all can kiss my ass. I can run
Absolutely.
circles and figure eights around any of you. And the jackass that always says you're creepy, you look at him, he doesn't even have a girlfriend or wife. He's got a dog, and he doesn't even have his face up. And when you investigate him, you do see he has a wife, but she outweighs him. And you're like, shut your mouth. Just
Steve, I learned long ago especially when social media first started, I am not going to engage the miserable.
no.
I will engage someone who wants to take me on on an issue or something like that. You got a lot of miserable people out there though, and I won't engage them. I will wish them well and hope that they get the mental help they need. But for some reason,
No.
if my success or my happiness drives them crazy, that really puts a smile on my face. I'm just gonna smile and be like, "Have a great day, dude. Have a great day."
Yeah, I know. And then it's always like, you've got so much. I'm like, nobody ever gave me anything.
No.
My father made $27,000 a year max. He couldn't help me. There's nothing he could do for me.
Steve? What was your dad's job?
My dad, well, it's kind of like he started off on top. So when I was born, he was killing it for the moment because he was the assistant art director of the Atlanta magazine.
Okay.
Then he was the art director. Then he had a disagreement with the direction of the magazine. And when he voiced that, he was let go. Then he's offered art director for Sky magazine. At the same time, he's offered an interview for Southern Living. One required us to move to Birmingham, the other one, Miami. And my mother goes, "We're staying in West End, Atlanta, near my family. We're not moving anywhere." So he gave up his dream and got into printing, and that's where he got screwed.
See, my dad was a mailman in a town like one over from where I'm at right now. My dad carried mail on his back. He died at 57. Died Christmas Eve of my senior year in high school.
My dad went at 67. Both dads too early.
And he carried a mail bag on his back, and then would, for 24 years, delivered newspapers in the afternoon, because Philly used to have a morning paper, a midday paper, and an afternoon paper. And he would deliver newspapers after delivering his mail every day. So my dad worked his ass off. And I always laugh at that too, because people will say, they'll say to me well, look at what you have. You can't relate to the every guy. And I said, dude,
what?
My brother and I shared a bedroom that is smaller than the walk-in closet that my wife and I had at our house. And my brother and I had a dresser, 2 twin beds, and this dinky little closet. And it was terrible. I mean, terrible size-wise. But you know what, Steve? My parents did what they could do, and they did the best they could do. And they wished like hell that every one of their kids would take advantage of the opportunities given to them. And God bless them. God bless them. I appreciate it. But it made me hungry. It made me hungry
too.
That made me want to. And you know what, Steve? Where you and I have always bonded, and I've always said it, is the fact is you and I shared a common gene, and it's the hustle gene.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys who want to come in and hit the microphone when their show starts, hit the microphone when their show's over, walk out to their cars, go home, and watch Real Housewives or something. You and I don't know how many times we would cross paths doing, well, what's your side hustle? What's this doing? You and I always had 2 or 3 things going on. Always. And to me, I look at Southside Steve as a business. I know Steve, the person, but I always looked at you as Southside Steve as the business entity. And I always ran my career the same way. And I'm still running it that way now. I worked 3 jobs for over 20 years of my business career. I've worked 3 jobs. Yeah. And to me, I'm damn glad to have them. And I love working and I love having fun. And, but I got to tell you, though I'm thrilled to be back in Philly. It is the most amazing opportunity fell into my lap, and I got a great new home. But I got to tell you, I'm still shocked in a way. Sometimes I just shocked and I shake my head going, Steve, I thought I'd walk out and turn off the microphone the last time. I thought I'd do it in Atlanta. I really did. It still shocks me.
And I want to get into that. And Brett, I know you have some questions too. And one thing the three of us share, Brett lost his father about 1.5 years too. So it sucks.
I was waiting for you to throw that one, and I was like, oh, I got one by this show. He loves just reminding me.
I just like to tease him. You know?
But Brett, your dad, I don't even know. I don't know your dad, but I guarantee you, your dad would just want you to laugh, smile, kick ass.
Oh, no doubt.
Proud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's what it is. We're all gonna. You just gotta. You gotta do your best, and it's tough. My mom just died. My mom died October 27th. She was 91. She was partying well into the summer.
That's awesome.
She broke protocol of the quarantine in Philadelphia back in June and said, "To hell with it. I refuse to sit in my apartment at 91 years old and be afraid of a virus." And my mom lived her life and went to the store at 91, sold her car at 90. Like my mom refused to just obey, stay at home. My mom refused to obey. She wore her mask and did everything. And she didn't die from COVID. She died of cancer. But when she found out she had cancer, she was done. She was done. She literally was like, okay, I have terminal cancer diagnosis. And it was less than 3 weeks she was gone, and she was happy to go. And I'm so damn proud of her. And I miss her though. I miss her, but I'm so damn proud of her. She was like, don't be crying for me. Don't cry for me. I'm 91 with 2 fake knees. She was like, I have 2 fake knees and I've been healthy my whole life till I got cancer at 91. Don't cry for me. I led a great life. So I'm so damn proud of her, and I raise a glass to her often.
Well, we'll raise one now because
there you go. Hey, Betty. I'm drinking water at the moment, but this morning
I've got that too. I'm doing.
You didn't warn me about morning radio, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to say that I appreciate it. I've never felt so bad because I've been trying to get you on the Yeah Come On show for about a month and a half.
Yes.
And you're like, and the one time you're like, I'm up here because my mother's ill, and then the next time I'm up here because my mother has passed. And I'm like,
yeah, mother's passed. And it was Steve, it was just a matter of time. We were going to find a way. But seriously, she kicked ass, and Betty's spirit lives on in my daughter, because my 17-year-old has so many of my mom's characteristics. And
that's
it's
awesome.
just, she has that, Steve, she doesn't give a damn what anyone thinks about what she likes, what she believes in, she makes me so proud, because it's weird though, when we see our parents, and you'll see it as your kids grow, when you start to see your parents and traits of your parents in your children. My daughter is so much like both of her grandmothers. She's like my wife's mom, and she's like my mom. And it was weird in our marriage. My mom, anything I did wasn't good enough for my wife. And in our marriage, for my wife's mom, she thought anything my wife did for me wasn't good enough. It's like the two moms switched.
Wow.
They were like the favorite kid was the spouse, not their own kid, which was really funny, because every mother-in-law joke's wasted on me big time.
No, that's hilarious. My mother-in-law is super sweet to me too. I'm blessed there. My
By
mom.
the way, that's a kick-ass pool they have too.
That isn't it? Isn't it?
Dude,
I'm married well.
dude,
I know. It's a great pool.
No, well,
still waiting on an invite.
That is a whole nother thing. Dude, you'd marry her without that pool. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I would.
You'd have married her without the pool.
You better watch it, John. We're going to be doing a podcast with you once a month. There's too damn much to talk about.
She could have had one of those blow-up pools from Walmart in the backyard, and you would have married her. So
yeah, I would have.
Give me a break.
I would have. She could have lived. Yeah, she could have lived in a barn. I still would have married her. What? Yeah, the 22-year age gap, but I'm doing okay. I've got a 7-month-old.
See, you are Buck. You are Buck. You and Buck.
I am Buck.
You both found younger women. That's great.
Yeah.
Beautiful younger women with good marriages. It's a way it works. It's awesome.
Do you know I never dated anybody over 30? Only one girl. That was it. And
there you go.
I was a hot mess. But I wanted to bring you on for one thing, and Brett and I both have questions for you. And if something's too touchy, you let us know.
Nothing is.
I don't know that it will be, but you know,
With
the one
me?
thing, yeah,
With,
I get, I
with
know,
me
right?
too touchy, please.
I just had to preface it, but I do know you're a loyal person. I know I'm a loyal person. I definitely
Yeah.
know Brett is too. It's one reason why I work with Brett on the Yeah Come On show. But I will tell you that for me, I know how loyal I am to my employer, and you know, and I got a rough little suspension over something that happened, and I won't get into it, but you know, it kind of rocked me a little bit on the highest level that people didn't have my back because I have given everything to radio, and I've always taken the stories. We can't do this year, or we're going to need you to do that, or can you just endorse this client for this amount? I mean, I'm just a company guy. So I look at you as a company guy, and all of a sudden you get a 20-year anniversary working for 680 The Fan, a great show, Buck and Kincade, and then all of a sudden you're on the street. So the obvious is what happened, because I really haven't seen anybody, nor have I asked, and I would rather hear it from you anyway.
8 days after, we celebrated with a party the end of Buck and Kincade.
Wow.
I got taken out for a chicken Caesar after the show and got told, we can't afford you anymore. You make too much money. We got to cut you loose.
Wow.
I was pissed off. But in the same way, in retrospect, when I think about it all, there's two different statements. And I told Mr. Dickey this. I said, for 20 years, we had an amazing partnership, and you were a great boss, and your family was great to me, and we had a tremendous business relationship. It was awesome. And I said, that's end of statement. But this exit, it sucks.
Yeah.
And it was handled as clumsily and as poorly as it could ever have been handled. And to me, both statements are true. But as time goes on, my appreciation for 20 years behind a microphone with the same company, where I was the company man. As I said, I've said to people before, I had the 6A The Fan tattoo on my left butt cheek. I mean, I lived and breathed that brand and tried every day to promote that brand, tried to build that brand, tried to do everything, whether it was charitable, whether it's working with clients, whether it was promotion of the brand. I tried to be the best employee that I could be. And I know I damn well was.
You are.
That's why I'm surprised the way it went down. Now, I understand. If they decided that I made too much money and that it was time for me to move on and that they couldn't afford me anymore, God bless them. It's not my company and I'm not paying the bills. So if they had to make that decision, God bless them. But the way that it was handled, I could have been approached earlier. I could have been given a chance to have a little bit of build up to time, but I sure as hell wouldn't have had a celebration of the show just to get shown the door 8 days later. That was handled poorly, and that's something that's going to take me a long time to ever forget. And I'm just being honest. So I want to balance the appreciation with the pissed off, because it was a great station to work for. My coworkers were freaking awesome. My boss was tremendous. It was a great relationship. But Steve, I can't believe there won't be a Buck and Kincade Classic this year. I can't believe that I won't be doing the radiothon in a couple of weeks that we did, where we raised $2.2 million for leukemia and lymphoma research. I can't, like, it was such a big part of my life. It's almost like sometimes I wake up and I don't know where, like here at this apartment, I don't know where I'm at. I think I'm in Atlanta. You know, it just shot. And then I'm like, no, it's a new life now. And it's a new thing. But I think the one thing is, though, is nobody in radio, as you well know, is entitled to 20 years behind a microphone at the same station. So that's where I want to have, that's where I want to still embrace the grateful nature of it, because they were good to me. They were good to my family. They helped me build personal wealth. They helped me get exposed to a lot of great people. And I made a lot of lifelong friends that will forever be family.
Yeah, the Dickies have always been good to me as well. I never got to work with David. I had Lou and John, you know, but things happen, things beyond my control. And I don't even want to know the details of why they're not there, but I think everybody's happier, I guess, or compensated, you know, way above way above my pay grade. But you know, one thing, David Dickey, I love David. You see what a hard worker is. That's a guy I could work for. But I hate to see, you know, and obviously you drove a Ferrari to work and your kids at Marist. So, you
I
know,
did
God
not.
knows.
I drove an Audi from Audi Atlanta, just off 285 inside on Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, where you can get some great deals. Call Tracy Maloney. They've got great deals for you. Tell them Kincade sent you. Wait a minute.
Okay.
It's still in my head. It just won't get out of my head.
And I'm going to tell you, go to Regal Nissan and ask for
There you
Lane
go.
Pryor.
It's the way it works. We sell, and you know what? And Steve, like you and me, my clients were some of the most heartbroken and like some of the kindest people when I went and visited people after I got let go. I went and visited them, and I went over and sat in Tracy Maloney's office, and we had coffee and just had a chance to talk. And,
Sure.
It was like my clients were so damn good to me and so good to my family and so good to that radio station. And I'm proud of the work I did for them, and I'm really proud that they ever lent their name to me.
Well, and that's the way I feel too. I've never endorsed anybody that I didn't believe in. I firmly believe the best deal in jewelry is D. Geller and Son. You know, and people don't realize that. They think sometimes that we take these endorsements. I've turned down endorsements because I don't believe them. But I will tell you right now is a perfect time to say I want to thank OxygenFinancial.com, Ted Jenkins, a proud sponsor of the Come On show.
You mean Ted Jenkins, who I am also a client of? So can I also endorse? Can I also endorse Ted here?
Yes.
Ted Jenkins. My wife trusts, I think, like 10 people. She's related to 3 of them. My wife loves Ted.
Yes.
Loves his team. Loves Oxygen Financial. And even though I was relocating to Philly, Ted was a big part of like, okay, here's our building the house fund. Here's our managing fund. Ted Jenkins can work with anyone and can just, they take the clutter out of the way.
They do.
Of financial management. And Steve, it lets me just do what I do. I can make money. I'm good at making money. Let someone who understands how to manage money, and by the way, does it with a personal relationship. Ted and his whole team, they absolutely rock. Love you, Ted.
Yeah, Ted's fantastic. And our studios, when Brett and I normally do the Yeah Come On show, are located there. The other company that I want to hit is a proud sponsor of this show is Circle 285. And that's where you go and you get a quote. Because a lot of people have been with the same insurance carrier, whether it's for home or car, and they're going to get you a type A company, one maybe you've never heard of, like Safeco, who I'm with, and they're going to get you a cheaper rate. So they give you a free bid and they let you know what's out there. So just go to circle285.com. And lastly, we have to have a psychiatrist, and we do, and that's Dr. Why did I go blank? Oh my God. Ridgeline Counseling, David Markwell. There you go. Oh.
That's
David
awesome.
Markwell. And speaking of Ridgeline Counseling, we'll throw right now to his commercial, and we'll be back. Because you know what, David? I screwed up, and you gave me counseling, and I dropped your name. I apologize. But we'll be back with Mr. John Kincade after that.
I'm David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. The current situation we're in is bringing all kinds of issues into our lives, everything from stress and anxiety to frustration, bouts of depression and loneliness. Well, we're here to help at Ridgeline Counseling. You can reach us at 770-993-9700, or you can email us at ridgelinecounseling@gmail.com. Currently, we're offering telemental services through video and phone platforms, and in a few weeks we'll be transitioning back to in-person office visits. In the meantime, stay safe. We'll get through this. Yeah, come on.
We're back with John Kincade. We're talking to him in Philly, where he has a new radio show, and he's landed.
Empty kitchen. Yeah.
An empty kitchen. Keep in mind, this is not his home. He's building one. His wife and daughter in Atlanta. 20 years with 680 The Fan, along with doing television. You've done CBS stuff, but right now I know we're going to get into all of that. But I want to go to Brett, who's a huge sports guy too, and a fan of you, John. So you have a couple of questions for John Kincade.
Okay. First off, you got to hit the main point, and I think both of you guys can get in on this. I wanted to talk to you guys about Don Sutton's passing this week.
I will tell you this. When I first came to Atlanta, the very first time I ever met Don Sutton was in the press room at the old Fulton County Stadium. So I sit down to have some dinner, and Don says to me, "You're Kincade, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he sits down, plops his tray down, and just starts talking to me. And he says, "Can I tell you something?" And I said, "What?" And he said, don't ever try to be one of us." And I said, "What do you mean one of us?" And he said, "A Southerner." He said, "You're not," he says, "you can't," he says, "this isn't something you can infiltrate." And Don said, "You can't infiltrate being a Southerner." He says, "Don't try so hard." He goes, "Just be yourself and be who you are." And he said, "And eventually we will grow to love you and accept you for who you are. Don't try to be one of us because you can't masquerade as a Southerner." I loved Don Sutton ever since. And then when we became the flagship of the Braves, we got closer. Every year, Don would host a party for all the people who worked behind the scenes on the Braves radio network. And Don would always invite me to this party, this dinner party at Ray's on the River, great spot usually. Yeah. And he was a kind man. And when I got to do Braves play-by-play, 2 spring trainings, and I was hyperventilating because I know I would suck at it. And so Don talked to me on the phone the night before I did it. Then after I did it, he gave me some feedback. And I said, "So Don, how'd I do?" And he goes, "John, as a play-by-play man, you are a Hall of Fame sports talk show host." And he busted my balls. And that was Don. And that was Don because I didn't want Don to tell me I was great. And he goes, "Dude," he's like, he didn't say dude because Don didn't say dude, but he's like, you're in a rush to say stuff. He said, "Baseball, relax, take it easy." Yeah. Ground ball to the second baseman, tosses it over to first. He said, "You're in a rush." And I said, "Don, that's why you guys are great at what you are doing. And I hope to be as good at what I do." Great.
There
man.
you go.
I'll miss him too.
Yeah, I felt the same connection. It was so weird because we got the Braves at 96 Rock. We have them currently at Rock 100.5, which is great because you can hear Braves games, especially on the signal we had at 96 Rock on FM. But at that time, there was no morning show. We were syndicated in Rhodes and it was Southside and Rhodes in the afternoon. And, man, we had to do it all. We had to do all the major things, which was cool. We were going on the cruises. We were traveling to the Bahamas. We were hosting all that morning show crap. But then we had to be if there was a home game on a Friday, we had to broadcast live. And then all week long, we would have Joe Simpson on. We would have at the time, I think we had John Smoltz on once a week. I built up a great relationship with him and Don Sutton. And at the time, of course, I was one of Rocker's best friends when everything blew up and I was there. But Rocker also dated Stacy, his daughter. Oh, and I don't think Don really, he wouldn't say it, but I knew he didn't like it. He just kind of said, she has other choices. He kind of made a comment like, "I don't need my daughter dating John Rocker."
That's Don, and that's Don. And that was Don, very much
but
so.
But he teased me, and I just enjoyed those dinners before the games, where you go in and
he's such a good dude.
Everybody eats, and I'd sit down. He and his wife would ask me to sit down. But what a shame. Going to miss him. You got anything else, Brett?
Okay, so when I first met John, it was working at 106.7 in the newsroom, and I was writing news for Melissa Carter.
Oh, yes.
I didn't really know who you were. I just moved back here from Tuscaloosa, and all of a sudden there's this guy that pops in our little newsroom every day to watch soap operas.
To see General Hospital.
What is the deal with you and General Hospital?
General Hospital, I've watched General Hospital since high school. And I used to, true story, on my ESPN radio show, I was so obsessed with General Hospital that I would say at the end of every one of my network shows, I would say thank you to everybody who was on the show that day. And I'd say, "And Kelly Monaco didn't join us today." Southside Steve knows every Playmate of the Year. He may have even dated Kelly, I'm not sure. But Kelly Monaco is one of the stars of General Hospital. And I would say Kelly Monaco didn't join us today. Well, it was just a running gag.
Right.
Well, Erin Andrews had a new publicist, and Erin Andrews had a new publicist, and she said, her publicist was like, "Why is John Kincade saying Kelly Monaco isn't joining us today because my publicist, she said, I'm Kelly Monaco's publicist too.
Wow.
So then the connection, so I'm driving to work down 400 and my phone rings and it's a California phone number. Yeah. And I say, hey, hello. And it's like, hi, John. And I'm like, hi, John, it's Kelly.
What?
And I'm going, Kelly? And he goes, yeah, it's Kelly. You don't know my voice? And I'm like, Kelly, who is, I don't know who it is. And he's like, and she's like, you watch me every day. And it was like, oh my God, Kelly Monaco. So she was amazing. She came on my ESPN radio show. And then through that, a bunch of the guys in the cast said, why are you on a sports show on ESPN? We should be on because we watch sports and we actually know who this guy is. So then I got to be friends with most of the cast. I visited the set. I know a lot of the cast members. I mean, we talk on the phone. We've gotten to be good friends. And I'm obsessed with Port Charles.
Okay, there you go. Port Charles. I was an all my children guy.
Well, and by the way, All My Children is Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, Steve.
Wow. I did not know that.
Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania is, and One Life to Live is right here, is based right here too. So both of those shows, because Agnes Nixon, who created them about the main line of Philadelphia. And those two cities are supposed to be like near each other. Okay. And so I am living right now pretty much in Pine Valley. And by the way, and Bryn Mawr Hospital is Pine Valley Hospital that she based it on. And I was born there and Neil Bortz was born there.
Crazy. And
both of us born in Pine Valley Hospital. So
I was born at Georgia Baptist Hospital and I'm Catholic. What the hell?
There you go. What can you say?
But Luke and Laura, and there's nobody better than Rick Springfield, baby. That's when I was watching.
Dr. Noah Drake. And now, by the way, Laura is the mayor of Port Charles now.
In real life?
No, on the show. She's the mayor. Laura she's the mayor of Port Charles now. So she's now a politician.
Oh my God.
Is this a spoiler alert?
I don't know.
She's the mayor. Okay. She's been the mayor, I mean, but it's good, but it's great because so many of I'll throw out pictures of myself on the set and people are like, how are you sitting in Sonny Corinthos' chair, the mob boss's chair?
It happened. Yeah,
it's awesome, man. It's a lot of fun. I love it. It's one of those quirky things. And it's one of those things too, is that Brett, be yourself in radio. If you like General Hospital, tell people about it. If you like watching Real Housewives, tell people about it. If you like dating Real Housewives, tell people about it.
Yeah.
Be who you are and be genuine, because there's nothing the audience can sniff out faster than a phony.
I will tell you, I was on the phone with her, with Kim when she was in LA, and she's putting me on the phone with all these famous people, that are in her limo or people that she's talking to. And I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? And then she gets out not wearing panties and gets the photograph where everybody saw everything. And she's like, baby, she's going, baby, I think they got a camera shot. I'm like, of course they did. And you did it on purpose. And that's when I'm like, I dig you. This could be fun. I just don't know that I want to be your boyfriend on this show. I should have done it if I had to do it over again. But when I said kind of no and I pulled away, 3 weeks later, she's supposedly dating a girl DJ and she's on the front of People magazine. I'm like, well, that's bullshit, but okay. Crazy. This crazy stuff. My other question to you is, we know that you had to leave and we hear the circumstances, and if it's about money, usually it is about money, but I have a feeling you were bringing in a lot of money too. So
my best, yeah.
Of course you did, and you're very, very good. One question I would like to ask you, it's a two question, but take it and run with it. The CBS television gig, how that went, and what is your connection in the future with that? And secondly, did your agent land this job? How did you end up right where you should be back at home?
Well, honestly, first off, my CBS stuff has gone away temporarily as part of this move. I left my network radio show and stopped doing that. And so I'm just taking right now, all I'm concentrating on is launching the John Kincade show now in Philadelphia on 97.5 The Fanatic. So everybody can just grab that 97.5 The Fanatic app. We're also on YouTube and Twitch, and people can go to a YouTube channel, just search 97.5 The Fanatic, and you'll find our show every day. We're doing some fun stuff with that. It's when I became available, the first station that I spoke to that reached out was the station that I'm at, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Wow.
They and literally the message was, you're probably not ready to talk now, but when you are, please talk to us. And my wife from the beginning, because I wasn't ready to talk to anybody at that time, and I'm like, look, I'm going to get every damn penny of severance that I can get, so I'm not working before that severance runs out. The next day I'll go to work, and I did the very next day. Joined. But the idea of, to me, it was, my wife immediately said, I like the approach of these people. And Joe Bell, my market manager who hired me, and my new program director, Chuck D'Amico, from the beginning, they were very low key. They were very conversational and very relaxed. And they made me feel really wanted, and said, what do you want to do? Not here's where we think you fit, or here's where we want to put you. They were like, what do you want to do? What kind of show do you want to do? Create a show for us. Tell us what you want it to sound like. Tell us where you want it to be. What do you want to do? And who gets the chance to do that? I mean, honestly, who gets the chance to do that? And I am so blessed. And we launched on January 4th, and I'm so excited, and we have so much fun. But Steve, I'm going to tell you, you didn't warn me about morning radio. It hasn't been as bad as I thought it was going to be, because everybody told me these horror stories, but I have to take a nap every afternoon.
Yeah, it's
I don't
brutal.
know, but do you take a nap? Do you take a nap? You
Yeah,
avoid
no.
the nap?
I
I
avoid
take the nap. I take the nap, and I tell Alexa, like, I want a 90-minute nap, and then I always wake up at like an hour and 10 minutes or so. But I need to nap every day, but I'm feeling good. It's not bad. It's just it's a shock to the system waking up at 4 o'clock.
Well, I napped in my 20s and my 30s, even in my 40s, because I was always at least once a week waking up somewhere strange at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, driving like a bat out of hell. I can't tell you before GPS how many subdivisions I got lost in trying to get home, or apartment complexes. I'm back at E120. Where's the entrance, man? And I'm looking and going, I've got 29 minutes before the first traffic comes in, and I got to get there. You know, and it was so stressful. So I'd take naps then, but now that I have kids, there are no naps.
Wow.
So now, man, I go to bed around 10, maybe 11, and I'm up at 5 because I'm doing it from home, and I'm doing it right.
That's the difference. That's the
difference. So I'm getting a little.
I've only got a 4.5 mile commute, so it's not
Okay.
that bad. But and I'm related to cops everywhere between here and there. So I know I can, I'm probably okay. I'm probably okay.
Run lights, speed. I got pulled over so many times going to work. And then, of course, I had an accident. Yeah. Dude, I had cops come up and bright light me or anything. They all knew it was me. Oh, yeah. And they would just mess with me. Zone 5 and Zone 4 in Atlanta would pull me over for the F of it. One time I got pulled over. He goes, hey, man, my sergeant really wants to meet you. I go, dude, you know I'm running late. I'm always running late. I don't have time to do meet and greets right here off of Peachtree. You know, that's when thank God I was living downtown, but I was driving, you know, and it's just one of those things. I've been lucky that the police have always listened to rock radio.
Oh, yes.
And they know I love cops and firemen, and it's real. And I've had a lot of breaks, but then again, I'll do whatever I can for these guys too. So it's a back and forth. But I hate it once again that you're gone. I look forward to hearing you back on CBS and knowing that you're at the station. I did watch your first show, about the first hour of it.
Oh, you did?
I did.
You got to see it.
There's an older guy. It looks like the same crew, and there's an older guy. It's like, I'm so tired of hearing about the John Kincade show. I'm tired. No, he said he was tired of the meetings. I'm so tired
of the meetings. Yes, because I was wearing them out. I'm like, look, this is the way things are going to be, because it's fun, because we got a new crew and new rules and new ways of doing things, and we're having a blast. And the YouTube, if people check it out, Steve, it's slick, isn't it? I mean, we got good. They put in good cameras, and we have a director that changes the cameras depending on who's speaking and show different angles in the room. I'm very excited with it, and there's so much potential here. This is a market, but we're doing a very different show. We don't take a ton of callers, and people are freaking out like, oh my gosh, where are the phone callers? And either they are like shocked to their system, or we got people saying, thank God, we don't need as many callers.
No, a lot of times callers can make or break a show, you know, and you want somebody that's a good call
Yeah, you
screen.
want good callers. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
good. And we're about to do that. That's one thing while you're on with us. I'm looking at what can I do to change the Yeah Come On show. And there's two things we're going to do. And I'm going to tell listeners,
Right.
Brett's going to let them know. But we're going to allow you to email us in. We want to read your emails if you have any questions. We're setting up phone lines. And we're also, I want videos. I want your best Yeah Come On video.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah, and whoever
see, that's great. That's a great idea.
And I'll send you a ball cap if you win the best Yeah Come On video of the week. And I don't care how crazy it gets. I'm not trying to beat it. You know whatever Holmes videos, or what's the dude that does the stuff that's Jackass or anything. I don't care. You do something stupid. I want to see it, and I'm not trying to steal from anybody. But I just need a Yeah Come On in the video. That's all I need.
There are no original ideas. Don't talk about stealing from anybody. I'm like, believe me, there's so many things. I think every single thing that I do, I've bogarted from one person or another that I've loved and changed it up and then said, that's a good idea. Let me do it a little bit differently. So there are no original ideas. None of us have any original ideas in radio. We just find ways to look, it's about finding ways to have fun.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Find ways. I
did come up with a new game. I just need Burger King to sponsor it because Bailey's got new games on our show, and I was like, what if somebody told us the biggest lie and we say the biggest Whopper, and then we give away a free Whopper? That's what we do. You know, you got a
great idea.
I know I'm brilliant, but nobody knows it.
That's a great idea. How about this, Steve? Steve, let me try that out. I'll tell you 3 stories.
Yes.
You tell me the one that's the lie.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let me see. My girlfriend in college is in jail for murder. My inheritance from my mother will be tied up in probate due to a piece of property that may or may not be mob property. And third, that my daughter's middle name is Agnes.
Okay. I don't know that it would be Agnes. If it was Agnes, then it would be from someone in your family. Like my grandmother's name was Adelaide. It would be an older name, and you would be doing that as tribute to a relative.
What's the lie? Yes. What is the lie?
That's possible, but I'm going to dismiss it.
Give me is there anyone that's the truth? Which one? Because I gave you 2 lies, and I need you to identify.
Wait, 2 lies or 2 truths?
No, he gave me
2 lies.
2 lies.
2
so
lies.
I'm letting. Yeah,
that's not how this game works. It's 2 truths and a lie.
No, hell no. No, it's 2 lies and a truth.
Yeah, I gave you 2 lies and a truth.
Yes. Brett, you're on the couch. Shut up. So I would say also that we've all dated people that, at least I think we've all dated murderers. We just don't know it. But I'm going to say that's a lie. I got to tell you, I think your inheritance is called up in probate court because some of your property could have been owned by mobsters.
That was one of the lies. But you just happen to know. You happen to know about the colorful history. And my daughter is Olivia Elizabeth. And no, my college girlfriend is in jail for murder.
Oh
and
my
not
God.
only did she solicit murder, she hired a hitman. And then she wanted to watch the hitman kill the person. And she went in the guy's kitchen and watched him kill him.
Damn. How many years between that and the death did you date her? I mean,
we dated in the mid 80s.
Mid 80s.
And she did this in the 90s, like in the late 90s. She was a businesswoman at the time, and she wanted. There was a business deal that went wrong, and she wasn't getting her money back.
Oh.
And she literally hired a hitman. She set up a chair outside that she could sit on, and then she decided she wanted to come in and watch.
Sick.
And guess what? By the way, there is a Main Street Mysteries television show called Main Street Mysteries, one of those TV shows. You can Google it. You can find it on YouTube and everything. And you can go watch the episode. You can find it. I don't know. I think it's in episode 8, season 2 or something like that. But you can find it that she's in jail. She is in jail.
Well, I'm
And-
glad you're alive and well, sir.
And
I'm
it didn't end well with us, Steve. So I'm very lucky that I'm here
Yeah,
to speak to you, because I didn't realize she had that streak in her, but she
yeah.
did. But the weird thing is that when Hoyt and Los, the brilliant minds with the Buck and Kincade show, and two of my favorite people, I love them in radio, when they found out, then Hoyt wanted to be her pen pal. And I said, do not.
No.
I think she's lost touch with me. Do
Yeah.
not be her pen pal.
Let her forget about John Kincade. Don't even want her to know about me.
Could a woman forget about me? I mean, that's what I want to know. Could you really forget?
I couldn't.
You know,
if I slept with you, I would remember.
Yes, exactly. You may have. It was wild times. You don't have any idea.
I was getting back to that story. Like I said, one of the times that you really cracked me up, you were at a golf course, and you were probably a member there. You know, we all know the big money you were making now. You know, you probably remember a few courses, but I was there with Tim Rhodes. We're playing golf, and I hear that. Is that Southside? What are you doing? And I'm like, you're sitting over by a fireplace with a sandwich, and I'm like, playing golf, man. I ain't working.
I think it was Old Atlanta Club. I think it was where I lived. I think it was Old Atlanta Golf Club. I think you guys
you're
were
right
there playing some free golf, because
Yep.
Steve can roll into pretty much any golf course and find somebody that will comp him.
Yes.
He said, you got to know that. And yes, and I said to you, I remember saying to you that day, how the hell are you out of work?
I know.
Because your show was so popular.
It was.
And that's where, and I'll tell you, that was one of the hard lessons in radio that I learned without having it affect me. But I saw a lot of people over my tenure in 2 decades in Atlanta radio that had very successful shows that got shown the door. And so, but I kept thinking, I guess in my stupid head, well, it's not going to happen to Buck and Kincade. It's not going to happen to our show. Our show, please. It's not happening to our show. Yeah, it happened. It happened. And they all happened for a lot of different reasons. And I think everybody ends up where they're meant to end up eventually.
I hope so. I think your story, everybody that I've talked to in radio has said that they're so happy for you, that you ended back up in your city, that you landed well. Ted Jenkins, again, oxygenfinancial.com. He spoke very highly of you. I had my meeting with him last week. And
that's always good. Are you listening to Ted? Listen to Ted.
Yes, I do exactly what he says. Ted, my father-in-law, my wife, you know, none of them would have let me open up a bar, you know, but I enjoyed Southside Steve's.
There you go. Ted knows. Ted
Yeah.
knows that my wife made me, and I'm not going to give the date. My wife made me, the one agreement we had with this, Steve, is she knows, she's actually thinking that the time apart that we're having right now is actually sort of good, because she knows how obsessed I'll be on building this brand and building this show. And that she says it's almost better because the time we spend together will be quality. And so, but the one thing she made me do is she goes, you're going to tell me when you're retiring eventually. So give me a date into our future, so I know that you tell me at that point you're willing to say it's going to be just about us, and it's going to be about spending some of that money that Ted Jenkins helps you save, and it's going to be about living the next phase of your life. So I wrote down a date for her, and I committed to a date, but I'll be working for over a decade easily. I mean, but the thing is, she said to me, she goes, I really want you to commit to this. So at least in your head, you know there's a date, you know there's a time that you work your ass off and do all the things you want to do, but at some point you'll walk away. And you'll walk away while we still can enjoy life. So I would
like to work 15 more years due to the ages of my children. So that would be nice.
Exactly. And do that.
Do you think I'm starting to go gray too? Do you think I should just let it go, or outside Steve keep coloring, baby?
Steve, I'm telling you this, man. You could have, now you might not have ever seen Another World, but you could have that Carl Hutchins thing going.
Okay.
Or you'd have to Google Carl Hutchins or Cyrus Renault, who is now the villain in Port Charles on General Hospital. Silver-haired, ponytail. He's silver-haired, ponytail guy. Jeff Kober, I think, is the actor's name. Great actor. And he's like the new villain in Port Charles. But the silver hair, dude, it works. It works. I get more comments about my hair now than when I was 25. and I had a great main going then. It's like women love, I think so many guys, especially when they get a little older, they try to act like they're 25 with their hair.
That's
Steve,
amazing.
I think you would rock it. I think you'd rock it. And I'm telling you, I love it because it's now, I'm losing all the pepper in it. It's becoming just pretty much more salt. It's probably like 60-40 now salt, but it looks great. And it's who you are. It's who you are, and be proud of it. Be proud of it.
Well,
You know?
I'm thinking about it. I'm on the
I
fence.
think you should.
I let it go on the face, but I will tell you right now, and Brett, I don't know how you feel, but I look at John Kincade. I see a white kitchen. I see white hair. I see white clothing. I'm either talking to the greatest sportscaster ever or God. I don't know.
Well, that could very well be too. And by the way, still repping Atlanta here. My Thrashers. I put it on specially just for Southside.
Thank you.
You know,
I'm everything Atlanta, baby.
Got Atlanta. Well, you are. And Steve, that really is one of the things that I'll always remember is that, damn, surviving as long as we did in Atlanta radio and as long as you continue to thrive, and the idea of being part of a community. And I will always, though my life is now in Philadelphia and my heart right now, my two hearts are still in Brookhaven. I can tell you Atlanta has a place in my heart forever. And
do you think
I
at retirement you'll stay there, or do you think you'll come back to Atlanta?
We will stay. I think we will stay here because my daughter's going to go to college up here, and so I tend to believe we're going to stay here. But Atlanta, with so many people that are friends that have become like family, and so I guarantee you, Atlanta will be part of our lives forever. And it is. It was a fantastic place, a city that was so good to me. And it was a place I grew to love. It had so much to offer, and it's a great place to be a dreamer. It's a great place to have ambition. It's a great place to have hustle, and it's a great place for young men to live. It's a great place for young women to live. Atlanta is a beautiful place, and it will always have a special place in my heart. I will always love Atlanta. And now, though, I can talk crap with Atlanta sports. Now, you know, the Philly Atlanta thing, now I can really talk crap. So now it is on. Eagles Falcons this year is already on the schedule. I got that circled. If the Hawks pick up their game, they can start competing with the Sixers and get into that. So I can have some of my old Atlanta buddies on and shoot the shit and have a chance to talk with them, which would really be special. Really be special.
Well, let me tell you, Philly's something else. I did go up as a stunt for when I was with the regular guys. I went to Philadelphia for the Falcons playoff game.
Right.
And then in the new stadium, and I went up to the 700 section wearing my Falcon clothing. And
you got greeted. But I bet you though it wasn't half as bad as you thought it was going to be.
No, it wasn't. They were going, mullet, and I had my hair in a ponytail, and I kept going, it's one length. It's not a mullet. It's one length. And they kind of got caught up in it. And the fact that the Falcons were losing, it wasn't an issue. Had the Falcons been winning, I think I would have had a lot of the beer over the head and stuff.
If you play along with, if you play along with the heckling, you play along with it, and you play along, people never have a problem. It's the guy pointing his fingers, cursing. You know, you're in somebody else's house. And here's how I always look at it is, when you're wearing your gear, and I'll always wear my gear proudly, but you're wearing your gear in someone else's house, behave yourself. Don't put your feet up on the furniture. Don't act like an a-hole. Just, like, you're in someone else's house. Don't go in there and start pointing fingers and mocking people and everything. You cheer for your team. And I've never known anybody to have a problem that just does that.
Keep it simple. I went to the bars later that night, went to about 2 or 3 bars. And when I walked in, of course, the Falcons had lost and everybody was wanting to buy me a drink. So they're like, dude, if you got enough balls to come in here wearing all that Falcon crap, I'll get you. What are you drinking? You know, and I call
it's always sunny in Philadelphia, as you know.
Yeah. And there was always one really bad guy among 5, and the other 4 would calm him down from whooping my ass. They're like, Johnny, come on, Johnny.
Exactly. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that going on. So it's a great town. I'm so glad to be. I'm so excited to be home though, because if I had to have this change of life and I had to have this experience, to get to do my own morning show in Philadelphia is sort of like it's the cherry on top of the sundae of my career, and I'm so excited for the opportunity. And I hope people I hope people check it out. I hope people check it out back in Atlanta. You can put it on YouTube, and you can still listen to your favorite shows in Atlanta. But check it out, and I do miss you. I do miss you guys.
Well, one thing I want to set you up for, and we'll close out the show here. But Bailey and Southside, again, like you said, you can listen to us in the morning.
Absolutely.
Brett Barney, that guy was is very missed at Cumulus. He walked away. I didn't
walk away. I got COVID canned.
All right,
I got COVID. I mean, mine was a COVID.
It is what it is.
It's a COVID cut too. It's what it is.
By the way, we're definitely going to put a link to your YouTube in the description of the show.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you got to check it out. You can watch it on YouTube.
Well, we're going to give you – we usually do a cigarette break, the time it takes to smoke a cigarette. But one thing I want to hit here before we let you go and before I end the show, I was going to let you go early, but I'm like, F it. John's
No, we've had fun. We've had fun.
Yeah, so we want you on the Yeah Come On show. Brett, you got some phone numbers we're going to get out. And then we also want our emails, and we also want videos. Brett, quickly, how can people do that?
That's great. Put me right on the spot as I don't have it in front of me.
Dick.
Seriously.
Come on. You're killing us.
He's scrolling through his phone now to find it.
Yeah, I'm having to go. Okay, how about this? So if you want to contact the show, you can text or call 678-693-2269, which makes a ton of different names for the show, like word-wise. So we'll just find one real quick. It 678-6-year-2-cow. Or it can be 678-6-web-boy.
Oh,
it can be.
That's not bad.
678-6-yeah-boy. Or yeah cow, or yeah cox.
Well,
like COX, like the company.
All right, what do you think, John? We can't get yeah. Come on, what do you think? Yeah cow, yeah cox, or yeah boy?
What was that one? Yeah boy.
Yeah boy. Yeah
boy. Yeah boy.
That's all I was thinking. We got to get the clocks.
I can see that. I can see that.
Go with yeah boy is our phone number. We'll give out the details, but right now I want videos that you say yeah. Come on, where do they send those to, Brett?
yeahcomeonshow@gmail.com. That is yeahcomeonshow@gmail.com.
And that's spelled YEAHCMON. Boom. That's how you spell yeah.
Although the phone number with the has no H in it.
Or you got to let it go.
Yeah. Or apostrophe.
Or apostrophe. You don't add that. But that's our stuff. Special thanks again to Oxygen Financial, Circle285.com, and Ridgeline Counseling with Dr. David Markwell. But in finishing the show, your cigarette break, I want to know exactly, again, you've said it, but how our followers can follow you, because a lot of people do miss you and they can catch up with you on YouTube.
Follow on Twitter at John Kincade. A lot of the Atlantans know that already. Just spell my name out. You'll find me on Twitter. My new radio show is 975 JK Show. 975 JK Show. And the radio station is 97.5 The Fanatic in Philadelphia. So you can get that app if you wanted to pop in and listen to. And on YouTube, just search 97.5 The Fanatic, or on Twitch, and you can go and you can watch the shows and watch the full shows and anything you want. So it's a lot of fun, and we try to do some corny stuff and have a good time. So
okay, what teams are winning AFC and NFC? Who are we going to have in the Super Bowl?
The Chiefs will win, even though I picked the Bills to go to the Super Bowl before the season. I did. I picked them before the season. And now I'm gonna cop out and crap out like an idiot. But I do think the Chiefs win on Sunday. I think it's going to be a great game. Something like 27-24. I think it's going to be tight. And in the NFC, it's a little more disturbing. But I think Aaron Rodgers and the Packers will find a way to beat Tom Brady and the Bucks. So I think the Buccaneers. I think last week was almost like a Buccaneers Super Bowl. That beating the Saints, knocking off Drew Brees, and last year I think the Pack learned something in the playoffs. So I think we're going to see a Packers-Chiefs Super Bowl, which I'd be very happy for. I think it'd be fun. I think that was Super Bowl I, if I'm not mistaken. I think it'd be a rematch.
Wow, and you're right about those conference games. A lot of times these teams really, to get there, they have their Super Bowl.
Yes.
And that was the Falcons in Minnesota. They had no juice left for the Broncos. Nothing.
Right, exactly. Nothing at all.
Can I throw this one out there?
Go ahead.
I bought 3 futures. I bought Packers, Bills, and Buccaneers.
Okay, do you go on to prop swap now?
No, I use a guy.
Okay, but no, you said you did that. You see, here's where you're missing. Right now, living here in Philadelphia, I've got the bookie right here on my phone, and I'm not calling
I do
anyone.
too,
I've got the
but-
apps. Yeah, but we have the gambling apps.
Oh,
Yeah.
And you're
I have
able to-
DraftKings.
Steve, when I'm telling you, Parks Casino in Philadelphia, I can go on my Parks Casino Sportsbook app right here as I'm watching the Sixers game. I can do live betting, wagering during the game, immediate live weight right from your phone. It is, I hope Governor Kemp takes the state of Georgia out of the set of Footloose and actually moves in. It is 2021. And let the kids dance. Let the kids dance to that crazy rock and roll music, and then bring sports gambling to Georgia. I'm telling you, Steve, the revenues in this thing is crazy. And by the way, Steve, all I'm going to tell you is, you want sports gambling to come to Atlanta, you'd kill it in endorsements. Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. Everybody and their mother has a endorsement in some way for sports gambling, because it's a big thing. It's big business, and everybody's betting. You know, the 60-year-old woman at the Acme, the supermarket, you know, she's got her app out. She's getting a little action on the Eagles games on Sunday as she's checking you out. It's amazing. So everybody gets a little chance of it, which is great.
Yeah, and you got marijuana across the street.
Beyond Hello.
Hello.
That's the store. You can even Google it and see. It's called Beyond Hello. And the strangest thing is, what does the clientele look like? Brett, what does the clientele look like going in and out of that store on a daily basis? Give me what you think the average customer is.
Oh, I assume they probably look like me, because every time I go to a city with one of those, I partake.
I will tell you this, Steve. Yep. They look like us.
Really?
Roll
I would
Tide.
say,
good looking and slightly gray.
I would say 3/4 of the clientele is in our age group is kids of the 80s. And it's surprising. It's like, I'm thinking kids of the 80s, kids of the 90s. And I thought exactly the opposite when I saw that was going to be right across the street. I mean, the clientele is, I'd say 40 to 70.
Unbelievable.
3/4 of the clientele, 40 to 70. It's shocking.
Yeah, the young kids are like, it's just not healthy. It's not cool. I'm not doing it.
Cheaper on the
It's not, and I want my vegan latte with double skim milk and
I can't imagine anything better than some legal marijuana and a Philly cheesesteak. I'm sorry.
right across the street.
Yeah.
You could grab the edibles and grab the cheesesteak. So you have dessert after this cheesesteak.
Well, we're going to have drinks because my wife's family is like, I think I told you the road. It's like an expensive road. It's like there's a millionaire row.
Well, when you come to, you see your wife's family, they're on the main line. My family is like wrong side of the tracks, main line.
I like it.
I'm smack here on the main line. You tell me when you're coming to town. You reach out, and I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see when you come to town.
I get up to Philly at least once every 2 years. So I'll see you.
That's awesome. Yes, that's good. We'll look forward to seeing you. But by the way, you're stepping 6 months back in the pandemic when you come here.
I got you.
There are the rules and regulations here. The other day, I think I broke wind in public, and the public health director, I think, came over and slapped a tag on me. You know,
you're like, stop.
It's unbelievable. It's like the rules are very strict here. I'm so glad not to be wearing a mask for 2 minutes. So
you're too pretty. I just want to
don't
thank.
want to wear the mask, but I will put it back on.
Oh my God!
Boo!
Love it.
Fly Eagles fly, baby. Fly Eagles
fly,
fly.
baby.
I miss you guys, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to catch up with you guys.
Miss you too, and I'm so glad you landed on your feet. You're a great broadcaster and a great friend, and thank you for coming on the
Thanks,
Come On show.
Great seeing
Take care.
Good
John
luck with the
Kincade,
Padres. Awesome.
can I get a come on?
Come on.
Right. That was a little rednecky, but I like it still.
I
that was
like
good.
it. Yes, I got it. Hey, my grandpappy is buried in a Civil War cemetery.
Damn.
I have in Front Royal, Virginia. There's some redneck in me. There is.
There he is.
It's
there.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of
Woo.
it. Take care of yourself, guys.
Take care, guys. Come on.